Hey guys, we're going to sit out here and do a quick little video over deer dropping and why they drop. I firmly believe the large majority of the deer that I've seen and others have seen, those deer drop because of that sound of that shot. And there's several things you guys can definitely take into consideration there in regards to where to place your pin at there to allow for that compensation of that drop. So whether you're hunting it out of an elevated tree stand or saddle or a blind, or even a hay bale blind from redneck, that shot placement or where your pin should really result based off the yardage of that target there. And getting into that yardage, that is one of the most important things you've really got to consider there, and make sure that you understand what that arrow flight's going to do. And then also, based off experience of hunting wise, you'll figure out, every deer is different there, but there's certain yardages there that I found personally that I really like to make adjustments on. So basically anything that's 30 yards or in, I'm going to be aiming right at that particular spot I want that arrow to go. And then anything into that 35, 40 on out there, I'm going to adjust that arrow flight or my aiming point, so that trajectory is going to hit about 8 to 10 inches lower than what that deer is when I take that shot. So I've got several videos here I'll show you of some deer out there 40 yards that I've taken some shots on, and you will see the dramatic adjustment there on how those deer can actually jump or duck that arrow. And again, 8 to 10 inches lower, so a lot of times it should be at the very bottom of that deer's brisket area there. Once you get out that range, I don't find myself in that situation very often. Typically, my big mature bucks, I'm harvesting them there between that 20 and 30 yards, just because I know the pattern. But I know that can get challenging, especially on public land when you're going in there essentially blind there and just picking out a great spot, or maybe during the rut where that buck's not typically traveling on his same travel pattern that he would be doing. And there's all things to kind of keep in mind there. The very last topic I want to talk about is aiming back on the deer. I will never do that just because I want to keep my shots as ethical as I possibly can. And some can argue that even lowering that shot opportunity to the bottom of that deer could be unethical. But based off my experience and my knowledge and my comfortability with my equipment, that's what I found that works out very well once you get out to that 40-yard range and on, is go ahead and allow for that animal to understand that there isn't a projectile coming towards them, and they will lower that body there, and that way you can make an ethical shot and not hit those deer higher or miss them, and those deer actually ducking it. So the main thing there on that particular topic is you want to make sure you take an ethical shot there. And I'd much rather hit a deer high or lower, or miss the deer in the vital section, than actually take that risk of aiming back towards the gut section, expecting that deer to turn, and that deer not turning, and you drill him right there, and then that's definitely probably going to be a lethal shot, but your recovery dramatically decreases very quickly on those kinds of shots. So hopefully this helps you guys out on understanding your aiming points, what to consider there, and like always, hopefully you guys are getting out there in nature, and best luck on your upcoming hunt.